welcome to my channel. This is Christina at Homeschool and Grace. And today's video that I'm super excited to share with you is a video answering a question. So the question is, how do I use my Father's World Teacher's Manual? This is a question that's frequently asked, and I thought, well, it'd be a good idea to share a video about it. So, how do you use your teacher's manual? Well, before we hop into that question, I wanted to give you a little bit about myself and about My Father's World. So if you're new to my channel and this is your first time here, my name's Christina. I am the mom of 5 daughters and I homeschool all of them, and we have been using My Father's World as our core curriculum for 7 years. My Father's World was first started out by Marie Hazel, who she is the one that's written the teacher's manuals. And I'm going to read off my notes so if you're like, why does she keep looking down? I have my notes. So this is actually from David Hazel, so that I don't get anything wrong. So this was written by Marie Hazel, and she is a speech and language specialist with a master's degree in teaching credentials. She has taught more than 20 years as a public and private school teacher and as a homeschooling mother of 6. She was not satisfied with what she found in existing beginning to read programs. So she developed a curriculum to include 1, a solid biblical foundation focusing on the wonders God created, 2, the thematic units of which integrate all subjects, 3, a phonetic and multi-sensory approach to beginning reading, 4, quality children's literature with related activities, 5, maximum success for different learning styles, 6, activities that challenge strong learners yet nurture slow learners, 7, clear instructions that are flexible enough for both parents and experienced teachers, and 8, an environment where both teacher and student enjoy learning together. So that is a bit of a background of My Father's World, why the teacher's manuals were created and the curriculum was created. And so that was from David Hazel, who is Marie Hazel's husband. So that was exciting to share with you guys. So, to the teacher's manual, well, not quite yet. Let me give you a few links so that you know where to go if you also, are new to homeschooling or new to My Father's World and you're just not sure how to get started. First of all, they have a great resource called How to Homeschool. And I'll pull it up on my phone here. So their website is mfwbooks.com. Oh, see, so I scrolled just a little bit. You didn't get to see it because you weren't here, but there's a ready to start homeschooling 10-step free download that will help jumpstart your homeschool journey. And I did a video on this if you're interested, and I'll have that linked below. But this is a great resource if you're just starting out and you're just not sure what to expect. So that was my first link I wanted to tell you about. You can find it on their website, and I'll also have it linked below specifically. Next, My Father's World does have free consultation for homeschoolers. So if you need help, like, how do I homeschool lots of kids? Or how do I homeschool my child? Or how do I, you can go to them and they will help you out, and it's free. So it's wonderful. So their phone number is 573-202-2000. I almost said it wrong. So there you go. Those are my notes to give to you first. So to the actual teacher's manual. Now, I am showing you this one because this is my only blank teacher's manual, because I use my teacher's manuals a lot. And at the end of this video, I'll show you what mine looks like by the end of the year. I mean, I've checked boxes, I've written notes. They're well loved. But I keep using them year after year. So I'll show you one that's been used through multiple grades, multiple ages, multiple students. So it's definitely written in, but it still works. So let me flip the camera around. Okay, so when you first get your teacher's manual, you're going to be so excited to just dive right in. So let's do that together. So as you open up your teacher's manual, this is obviously just the opening page. It's written again by Marie Hazel. This particular teacher's manual, since it's 1850 to modern times, it tells you it's a 1-year program and for what ages. Next, when you get into your teacher's manual, you're going to see that there's a table of contents. And this really just tells you what your child will be learning, which weeks, what the science concepts are going to be. So this would be for history, science, And each one's a little bit different because the table of contents is going to be different. Then you get to this page, and this is a really helpful page because this is your overview. If you're not sure what you're going to be teaching or what it's going to look like, this gives you a really nice and clear just overview. What I'm going to be teaching for Bible, history, science, art, read alouds, if they're supplemental for different children or different grades. Over here, we have all these books, math and language arts. So you have that information for what you'll be using for that, all the way up to grade 8 in this particular teacher's manual, and then like a foreign language if you were to add that in. So again, here's just another quick overview, but this is all the books that you'll be using. So this year you can see there's quite a few books, which I love. It's so fantastic. And so we have lots of books that we'll be using. It even tells you what's required, or it may not be included, your science books, your read alouds, history, all of that. Now, as you move through your teacher's manual, you come to a page called Preparation. And this page is excellent for when you're preparing for the school year and you're not sure, what do I need? What copies do I need to make? What do I need to buy? So this is going to be your specific school supplies. So I'll actually make a copy of this and take it with me to the store when I go to pick up all our school supplies. So like this, and it will tell you, like, keep these materials on hand all year. You'll need binders, a paper hole punch, line spiral notebook. That would be for your spelling, a Bible, a world map. It tells you what comes in your teachers, or not your teachers, but your student sheets that you can save for the year and put in like page protectors if you wanted to. Okay, so then this is talking some more about science. Now, this is obviously specific to 1850 modern times, but it goes for any teacher's manual. There's going to be specifics for like certain books that you're going to be using. And then like down here for Story of the World, we have specific information for, printing pages, the consumables, making copies as needed. So this would all be for your preparation. And it goes on and on. We have up to 10 points. So, starting a timeline, more on Story of the World, art, teaching tips, which we'll get to next over here. We have Book Basket, which is an excellent resource so that you can prepare each week ahead of time. There's been times where I've been really on top of it when I'm teaching, and I'll go and look at the back of the book. So that's back here in your teacher's manual, in your appendix. And there's the recommended resources for Book Basket. And so each week, it gives you what books you can find at the library to go along with your lesson. And so you can prepare ahead of time and get them put on hold at the library. And so then when you teach that week, your kids, you can use it as a reference. You can read it to them. They can read it independently. It's just an excellent resource. We have a subscription to HSLDA. And then if you're interested in a synergy group, it gives you information on how to get started on that. Okay, so a synergy group is great if you don't have any homeschool co-ops around you, but you have other friends that are doing the same year as you in your schooling. So that means if you had a friend that was also doing 1850 to modern times, then you could work together and have like your own it's kind of like a co-op, but it's a synergy group. So you would do lessons together. So moving on. So that is all your preparations for schooling. Moving on to your teaching tips. Now again, this is subject by subject by subject on what you're going to be doing. And it even breaks it down to like per day what you will be doing, which is super helpful when you get into your teacher's manual, because sometimes you'll look at it and be like, Bible, what am I supposed to do for Bible today? I'll show you here. So on your grid here, which we'll get fully into the grid, but I'll show you. Okay, so down here it says a memory verse. And you're like, well, what am I supposed to do with this memory verse? Well, let's go back over here. And it has a point, memory verse. Find the week's verse in your Bible and read it together. Define any difficult words and discuss the meaning of the passage. Read it together several times each day, memorize, and recite the verse. You might want to create a melody and sing the verse. So that will be like, oh, that's right. Okay, so our verse this week is 1 John 3:16. And so now I know, based off of this, what I'll be doing to teach them their memory verse. So this part's nice because it tells you each day on the grid. So the next day will be handwriting. Well, you say memory verse handwriting. What am I supposed to do with that? Okay, let's go back. Let's look here in our teaching tips for Tuesday handwriting practice. Look together at Bible memory verse. Point out, discuss punctuation and words that are more difficult to spell. Have the student copy the verse on lined paper while looking at the verse. Expect him to use neat and careful handwriting. He may also illustrate the verse or draw a decorative border. And then we'll file the sheets in the Bible section of the student's notebook. So that would be for Tuesday. Okay, so then we're going on to Wednesday. It says dictation. Well, what am I supposed to do for dictation? Again, let's look back at memory verse, Bible, dictation. Well, dictation is a simple and practical approach to teach, review language arts skills in which the adult slowly dictates or speaks a selection. Sorry, I'm writing it upside down again. Selected passage for the student to write. Okay, so then you'll do a dictation of the memory verse for Wednesday. And really, this isn't going to take you very long, and I'll show you that we'll eventually get to a schedule that really helps break it down for you, so you're like, oh, I don't need to take that much time with all this stuff. And then Thursday, there's going to be a test on the verse, and then a hymns activity. So this was all for Bible. That was just one part of the teaching tips, and that was one full page. So it's really terrific because it gives you so much information. So it gives us some more information for the hymns. Okay, then we go on to math drill. What do I do for math drill? It tells you that. Handwriting, what are we going to be doing for that? Spelling, we'll go over here. This is some more spelling. And then on to English. So let me show you an example for English. Go back to week 4. Okay, so if you see here, it gives you the numbers up in the corner here, 10, 11, 12. Now that means you're going to be using your language arts book, which is language lessons for today. And it tells you which lesson to do each day. I just love that. It makes it so easy for me. I know, oh, okay, I haven't done lesson 12 yet. That's the lesson we'll be on today. But let's say you're not sure what exactly this all entails. So let's look over here. Back to our teaching tips. We recommend language lessons for today, grades 2 through 6. The short, easy-to-teach lessons cover proper English usage, composition, punctuation, grammar, poem memorization, oral language skills, letter writing, and dictation. There is no teacher's guide. Simply open the book and read the lesson to your child. So it makes it super easy, and I could go on and on, but that gives you a general idea of what you'll be doing for your English lesson. Okay, next thing, your writing composition. And writing skills for today is the writing that they recommend. And again, they make it super easy for you. They tell you which writing lessons to do that day and what day to do them. You're only doing it 2 days a week. So it really makes it doable for parents. We also have our history in the teaching tips and all of that, how to use the books that you'll be using. And then on to Book Basket. It gives you all the details for that. And it just keeps going. We got reading, language arts for 7th and 8th grade. So this would be, if you start getting older students or you're teaching older students, this talks to you about the supplements for that. And then on to science. And then the supplements for your 2nd and 3rd grader. Now again, this is specific to 1850 to modern times. But look at your teacher's manual. It's going to be its own separate thing. So this is all your teaching tips. This is whenever you're unsure of what it's saying over here to do, like let's say notebook under your history section, you go, okay, I'm going to go over to my history section, history notebook. So then you can go there and read all about it there. And that tells you, okay, this is what I'm doing if you're unsure at all about what you're doing. So let's continue on through our book, and we will get to the grid, like fully get to it. So here's your list of memory verses, which each of them has. And then we're going to pause here for a minute. Help, how do I fit everything in? So this gives you more tips on just how to get everything done and to have a schedule. And here's a schedule that's broken down so that you can be done by lunchtime. Like, it's doable. It's doable, friends. So you do start early, but you get done. I mean, some of us homeschool moms were like, 8 a.m.? But if they can do it, we can do it. So, anyway, this is just great. And it also says, like, adapt this schedule and allow more time for a 7th or 8th grader. But it gives you an idea. And then it goes through your whole day, even down to evening, to do your read-alouds with the parents, afternoon time, what to do, lunchtime. Super helpful. Okay, we're to week 1. We're so excited. We've gotten our teacher's manual. We're finally to week 1, and we're ready to prepare. So you open this up, and you might be like, oh my goodness, I'm not sure what are all these check boxes? What am I doing? So up here, you can write the date in. I'll say I typically don't write the date in, but you can totally write the date in, especially if you're maybe using it multiple years. You might want to put in the date small so then you can remember, oh, that's the last time I taught that, or when's the last time we picked up the book that I need to pick up if you're having a off week or something. So that's helpful there. State, this would be telling you, okay, so there's going to be little things depending on what you're learning about. So this one particular says states. It looks like we're not learning any states, but we would have been if this was a different week, let's say. Okay, so it always starts out Bible, language lessons, English, history, your book basket, science, math, reading, and then any like special, like a craft, let's say, or let me think of something else. A read aloud would be down here, something like that. So this is how it's always broken up. It's broken up typically into 5 days. So Monday through Friday, you'd be teaching. And Fridays are always kind of your more relaxed days or catch-up days if, like, you got behind somewhere along here. And it's just super simple. You just follow each thing. Or another idea is whatever works for your family. So in your house or in my house, we start out with math. So that would be our first box that would get checked in the morning. Getting reading done as quick as we can in the morning. Check it off. And then English, we like to get our language lessons done right away. Done right away. That's all done. And then maybe I have another teacher's manual because I'm working with another student. I'd work with them on something. So that's how we use our teacher's manual. And then in the afternoon when we come back together, we do our core subjects. Bible, states, our history lessons, book basket if needed. This is a great opportunity for like a rest time or quiet time. Have them look at the book baskets books or watch one of the videos because sometimes they even have video options for book basket, which is really fun for them. And then we have science. Depending how old your child is, you may be doing science together with them, or maybe they're older and they can be more independent with science. So they're working through science themselves and then you're just having a discussion with them. Hey, how did science go? What'd you learn? Something like that. And then, like I said, reading, math, we get that done early along with spelling and language lessons. And then down here for your read aloud, this is telling us read aloud begins week 4. So I wouldn't have to worry about it right away. But when I do get to it, you know, reading aloud together as a family, we really enjoy doing that. So we would read at dinner time, we read before bedtime, we read at lunchtime. Just fit it in where you can get it done. Sometimes we read aloud during our core work together. That's when we mark that off. Okay, so let's say you're marking them off, but you're still unsure of some things because there's little notes here that says see notes or little asterisks. You're like, what does this mean? Let's start back up over here. So for English Day 1, we have read English in MOD, teaching tips, teach lesson number schedule. So MOD means 1815 in modern times. So I'm looking at the teaching tips in my modern times over here. So remember, I told you about the teaching tips. I'd come and say, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing if you're unsure. So that's what I would do there. Okay, let's move down some. Now we have a state pretest. Okay, it says see notes. You're like, well, where do I see the notes? Do I go back to teaching tips? No. You're going to come over here. We're going to come down here, and always with each week, it's broken down really nicely. You've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We don't have Friday for this week. But, so for Monday, okay, it says over here, see notes under state pretest. So I'd go over here to Monday. Well, I don't see it here, so I'll go to the next page. Spelling, nope. Okay, state pretest. Give each student a blank U.S. map from the maps page and have them students label as many states as he or she can. This is a pretest, and then it gives you more information. So there you go. That's what I'm doing that day. So that was for that day. Now we come down to the next thing, and now we have asterisks. And we're like, what are these asterisks for? Well, it tells you, indicates to use a student sheet. See notes. So we come over here again, look at our notes. Northern states, and it tells us, listen to this CD, and then give each student a blank U.S. map sheet again. And let's see here, anything else? Test them. Okay, I can do that. Have each student cut out the Northern States cards from his student sheet. So I'm going to have to go get a student sheet. So whenever you see the asterisks, you know that means you need a student sheet. Now when you come down here and it says optional, that means it's optional. You can do it or you don't have to do it. If your kids are done after doing this and you can tell that we can't do any more school today, then you don't do the optional. But if you feel like they can still listen and can pay attention, or if they're old enough, and they can definitely get it done. So let's see if there's anything else I would need to know my first day. So another thing that you can know is that, yes, it's broken up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but let's say you have an appointment Monday and you're just wiped out and you can't do school Monday, then you do it Tuesday. Like, don't feel like you're a slave to the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday grid. Just do Monday on Tuesday. And just keep going along and just, you know, like I said, you can write the date up at the top and just keep going. Don't feel like the grid is I can only do it Monday through Friday. Be flexible with it and let it work for you. Okay, so one last thing I wanted to share with you in the appendix. Let's make sure. Okay, like I said, we have the book basket in the appendix, which is a great resource for all the books for each week. And I just want to double check and make sure there's nothing else. Even if you're unsure, we even have there's a easy reader section for your for your children. Blah, blah, blah. For the reading time, you can pull out, there's a list of books for them to read by grade, and it goes all the way up to 6th grade. So that's super helpful for them. But that's the end of your book. There you go. Now let me show you one that's been written in and well loved. Okay, this is the teacher's manual for kindergarten. I'm not going to show you all the way through, but I want to show you a grid that's been used. Okay, see? Do you see the difference? And it's not all cleaned up. So it's all check marked up. And I just use a pencil, and if I want, I can erase it and just restart for the next year that I use it. But it's all marked up. Because that's how it should be. And look at, even you'll have kids do a dots in it because they're kindergartners. At least in this one. Or I have got tape on here because who knows why. I'll put in extra books that I want to read. Little ideas sometimes I'll put at the top to remember for the next time I teach it. So let the teacher's manual work for you. And just enjoy as you teach. Alrighty, so I hope this video today was helpful for you on how to use your My Father's World Teacher's Manual. It's super simple once you get into it and just start using it and start teaching. It's so much fun. And if I can do it, you can definitely do it. So don't be scared. Don't let it be intimidating to you. Just start using it. And I hope that you have a fantastic school year. And if you have any questions, you can leave them down below or give My Father's World a call. All right, thanks so much for stopping by today, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.